Hey everybody, this is Cameron from Obnoxious and Anonymous slash David Lynch's Worlds, and I'm here today to do a Twin Peaks thought of the day all by my lonesome. Today is Thursday, May 22nd, 2025, and it has been a while since I've done one of these, especially all by myself. So anyway, just wanted to pop on here because there is actual Twin Peaks David Lynch news. And so, I have to come on and let you guys know about it. But first, while we're having people coming in, because this is a live show we're doing tonight, figured I would just kind of touch base about where I am with various things that have been discussed on prior shows. All right, number one, since some of you have been asking, I am not on Facebook anymore. I wanted to be, wasn't by choice, but as I said on a previous show with Joey, um, Instagram and Facebook, because it's connected now by Meta AI, they had some issue with the fact that I had an account that had my son's pictures for friends and family, and then there was some like I paid for like to advertise a new Facebook page because that's kind of like what you have to do now on Facebook, unfortunately, because the algorithms are set that way that it used to be you just set up a new page and off you go, but now you have to kind of throw a little money into that pond to kind of get it going. And for whatever reason, like it I thought that I lived in another country when I live here in America. And so they just like, without letting me actually talk to a human being, just cut off my accounts. And then when I set up another account, because that's what people could do. I never done that. I had my Facebook account for about 17 years, but I know other people who have had issues and then they've set up a new account. Well, now because of Meta being all connected, it won't let you set up a new account because it recognizes your computer, your IP address, and if it doesn't, because there was a moment where I was able to get on with a new account by setting it up through a different laptop. It then targets who you're friending and what you're posting. So after about a few weeks of Meta realizing that the same people who I was friends with were friending this account and the same things I was posting about were now being posted by this account, it then contacted me saying they wanted a scan of my retinas to prove that I was who I said I was. Uh, so yeah, that's where Meta AI, Facebook, Instagram is at this moment. And it's only a matter of time before, if it hasn't happened to you, it's going to happen eventually because it's going to find something to nitpick about, and you cannot argue with the bots. The bots just decide and off you go, which is kind of a bummer because that's how I communicated with a lot of people on social media. Yes, I have Twitter X and I have Bluesky and email and all that stuff, but Facebook, for better or for worse, was an easy way to connect with people, have message calls, post about what projects I was working on and things like that. So as of right now, I am still off Facebook, unfortunately. But and I'm kind of, it's weird because I'm really angry that they got rid of my account. I had 17 years of pictures of me meeting celebrities and just, family photos that I can never get back. I don't have them anymore. And there's no way. I tried to download stuff. It won't let me even download them. But yeah, it's kind of a bummer. Kind of sucks. Uh, Especially since, it's how I communicate with a lot of my family and friends that don't have these other social media outlets. And yeah, it's just real crappy. Anyway, do have a number of you here in the chat, and if you see, there is a new function that Streamyard has here that allows your comments to be on the screen. I don't have to actually click on somebody's comment. I mean, I can, but this way, everybody's comments get to be on the screen, and that's kind of fun. I am kind of flirting with the idea of taking an old script that I wrote years ago and turning that into a book. It has nothing to do with David Lynch or Twin Peaks, but thinking about working on that sometime this year, as well as, because some people have still been asking, Black Rose. Now, for those of you who may not know or have been living under a rock or are new to this channel, I made a film a few years ago called Queen of Hearts, which is about Annie Blackburn and Caroline Earle and Wyndham Earle and Dale Cooper and a bunch of people from the Twin Peaks world. And people really seemed to like it. You know, it was made with a lot of heart, and it was made with a lot of Scotch tape. But we managed to get it done, and people really seemed to like it. So much so that it went up nearly 3,000 views in the last 48 hours. I have no idea why, but thank you to everybody who checked it out in the last 48 hours. I was like, wow, I wasn't expecting that. So that's really exciting. But a while back, a good friend of the show, Josh Eisenstadt, said to me, "Hey, when are you going to do a sequel or continuation to Queen of Hearts?" And I was like, "Nah, that's not going to happen." He said, "No, you should really do it because I think it'd be really cool." And so I said, "Well, I have these kind of ideas." And I started telling him the ideas. And he's like, "Yes, that's great." So I wrote it into a script, which is, I would say it's about 90% done. I need to do one more kind of just quick pass through it. And the reason why is because Josh, who is still wanting to co-produce the film with me, he found enough time in his schedule to read the script and give me his story notes. And I thought, oh my God, I told him, I said, "Josh, I need you to be extremely nitpicky with this because you are the man who knows this material inside and out. So I need you to tell me everything that you find not necessarily problematic, but anything you have any issues with, even minor little things." And he read the script and came back with 11 things to fix. And they're not like big story issues, which I was afraid of. It was basically like, hey, you just, need to change this word to that word. And I was like, oh, perfect. That's on top of the, I think, 5 things that I myself want to change in the current draft. So it's about 16 additions I need to kind of fix. Probably wouldn't take more than a day or two to do. And then I can do a quick read through, fix up little things, and the script is ready to go. Then I will be budgeting it and seeing how much it's going to cost and to see if it's doable. I sure hope it's doable because while Queen of Hearts was just incredibly hard to do, I feel obviously more confident, and I feel like this would be not necessarily an easier film, but it would be something that's I think it'd be pretty doable to make. And it's got so many, in my humble opinion, really cool ideas, and Josh thinks so too. That's what keeps me thinking about wanting to make it. If it was just like, yeah, it's not going to be any good, I wouldn't. Why would I pursue that? So I just want to let you know I'm still very much interested in bringing that story to life. And I do hope that when the time comes to try to raise the money for it, you guys will join me in that adventure. I don't think it's going to cost as much as what Josh and I were trying to go for last year, but that was because we were doing his film as well. And it was going to be kind of a 2-for-1 deal. But for whatever reason, that just didn't translate with a lot of people, that it was 2 projects for 1 price. So we're going to just move forward with mine for the time being. Josh is still very much interested in doing his Teresa Banks story at some point, just not right now because his schedule is incredibly full. So still moving forward with that. Anyway, all right. So let's get to some of this official news. So I want to let you know that there are screenings for the Log Lady film. So right now it's in Charlottesville, Virginia, and then it will go to Iowa and then Pennsylvania and Houston, Texas, and Ontario, a few places in Ontario, Toronto. It did qualify for the Academy Awards. So we'll see if that gets a nominee. I think that would be pretty cool. If the I Know Catherine documentary got nominated for an Academy Award, I think it's great. In fact, I threw it out to the production team like, hey, you guys should really try to get this thing to qualify. And it looks like they did. So that's amazing. Okay, now the next thing. I had no idea this was a thing. There is a new documentary about David Lynch called Welcome to Lynchland, and it premiered at Cannes a week ago. Now, Hollywood Reporter here calls it a slight but enjoyable documentary. And so when I heard that, I was like, okay, so this is going to literally a welcome to Lynchland. This is going to be sort of a primer. You know, this, if you don't know anything about David Lynch, this will kind of get you up to speed, which I believe that's what it is. Now, again, I haven't seen it. Apparently, it only runs an hour long. Yes, it says with a runtime of just 1 hour. So I don't think this is going to be playing at our neighborhood theaters anytime soon. It'll probably be on streaming or Netflix, Amazon Prime, or whatever. So be on the lookout for that. But I didn't even know this thing was in production. Welcome to Lynchland. So I was like, whoa, this is exciting that this is even a thing. So yeah, so be on the lookout for that. But the big, dare I say, big news that came out today, and I did post about this in the community notes earlier today on this channel, is that Twin Peaks cast sets national tour for the summer and the fall. And don't forget, later on this year, the UK is doing their own David Lynch theme festival called the Gathering of the Angels. So that's on top of all this. That's not even including this. This is something separate that Sabrina Sutherland and Paramount and a bunch of other people have been organizing below the radar for a while now, and now it can be public. It says stars of the surreal mystery series will make 18 stops. Isn't that interesting, right? Because there's 18 parts in season 3, or as people call it, the limited series or the return or whatever. Anyway, around the U.S. to discuss stories from, in front of, and behind the camera, with 2 events taking place at iconic series locations. Now we will get to that very soon here. So between August and October of this year, this is all going down. It says Twin Peaks fans who were left wanting more following the series' long-awaited 3rd season in 2017 rejoice. Top members of the original cast are set to tour the country later this year. Now, I gotta say, I don't think this has ever happened in the history of television shows where I mean, they've done Comic-Con twice. They went to Australia. They were gonna do the Graceland event, and now they're just going on tour. I mean, yes, they do the Snoqualmie North Bend event as well, and there's been a few in LA, but now they're just going on tour, which is, I find this really interesting, but it's very cool too. All right. Starting in early August, stars of the surreal David Lynch and Mark Frost created saga will be sitting down for nostalgic conversations in cities across the U.S., from Tysons, Virginia to Seattle, Washington. Ray Wise, Harry Goes, Kimmy Robertson, as well as Twin Peaks executive producer Sabrina S. Sutherland will share their experiences on the series and swap behind-the-scenes stories at the ticketed events. Cheryl Lee, who played the high school homecoming queen, whose murder formed the central mystery of the story and gave a startling starring turn in 92's Fire Walk With Me, will additionally appear at certain stops in the Western United States. The tour will kick off less than a year after series co-creator Lynch's death at the age of 78. According to Sutherland, the cinematic legend gave his blessing for the tour before he passed. David was very happy that we were going to have this cast tour to celebrate Twin Peaks with the fans all around the U.S. It's sad that I won't be able to call him each night to let him know how the show went, as I had promised. But I look forward to celebrating his work each night and having him in my heart instead. The tour, see all events here, which I will do that, also includes 2 stops at the iconic series locations in Washington State. Now, it says here, in an engagement that's already sold out, which is not entirely true. On October 18th, fans will be able to tour the house in Everett, Washington that served as the Palmer residence in the series, with Lee Wise and property owner Mary Reber telling stories from the series and Fire Walk with Me. The event promises tea, no word yet on coffee and cherry pie. So if you go to the actual site where you can get your tickets, there are 2 events at the Palmer House. One of them is sold out. The other one, as far as I'm aware, is not yet sold out. However, tickets for this event, before I'm sure taxes, is $800. So, but you do get to sit in the Palmer House with Ray Wise and Cheryl Lee and take pictures of the house and, hang out with them. It's pretty cool, but it is, just so you know, it is a little pricey. And on October 20th, Lee and Wise will visit the Kiana Lodge in Washington, where interiors of the Great Northern and the Martells' home were shot. The venue's exterior is perhaps even more famous, with Laura Palmer having been found dead and wrapped in plastic. So getting a picture with Cheryl Lee at the log at the Kiana Lodge, that's 1 in a million, folks. Gotta say. David Roy Williams Entertainment is producing the shows under license from Paramount Location-Based Experiences. I've never heard of this thing, but apparently this is a thing. Paramount Location-Based Experiences, as Lynch fandom and Twin Peaks nostalgia is having another moment. This year's Cannes Film Festival saw the premiere of the documentary Welcome to Lynchland, which examined the Blue Velvet and Mulholland Drive filmmaker's life and career, while a nonfiction film focused on the life and work of Catherine Coulson has been screened in cities across the U.S. All right, so here we go. Here, continue on. David Roy Williams presents Twin Peaks: Conversation with the Stars. And there's a whole bunch of dates here, which we'll get to as well pretty soon. All right, so you will see there's a bunch of tickets. You can book them on here. There's book tickets, and there's also VIP tickets. Diamond VIPs, Platinum VIPs. Remember when the Graceland event was like, I think it was like $1,000 to go to that thing? Not for every event, but for certain things, you're looking at between $800 or more for these events. Now, there's some where you can get like $80 tickets, and that's great as well, especially if you're on a budget like most of us are right now. But if you are hardcore, and you got the expendable cash, yeah, I don't know of any other opportunity you're going to get hanging out with Cheryl Lee, either at the Palmer House or at the, I don't know which one I'd want more, a picture of Cheryl Lee in the Palmer House or a picture with Cheryl Lee at the log. They're both kind of priceless, in my opinion. Okay, so cities on the tour. So we have Tysons, Virginia, Virginia Beach, Virginia, Collingswood, New Jersey, Red Bank, New Jersey. Hey, you can go hang out at Kevin Smith's area and go see this. That's pretty cool. New York, Connecticut. So Ridgefield, Connecticut, Old Saybrook, Connecticut, Nashua, New Hampshire. Oh, good. My ex can go there. Cranston, Rhode Island, Boston, Massachusetts, Denver, Colorado, Boise, Idaho, Tucson, Arizona, Mesa, Arizona, Napa, California. Notice how there's none in Southern California because they do a lot of stuff already in Southern California. Everett, Washington, Seattle, Washington, and Poulsbo, Washington. Frankly, I'm surprised there's no stops like in Eugene, Oregon, or Portland and stuff like that. But they're going right from Napa to up by Seattle. All right, so Ray Wise, Kimmy Robertson, Harry Goa, Sabrina Sutherland, Cheryl Lee. Cheryl Lee is asterisk, so she's only at certain events. All right, so if we go to book tickets at Cheryl Lee and Ray Wise return to Kiana Lodge. Let's see how much those are. I had to be able to check here. Buy tickets, $600 a person. You get firsthand recollections of amazing on-camera and behind-the-scenes moments, opportunity to take photos of the Kiana Lodge, both outside and inside. I mean, you can kind of do that on a regular day as well, but this is the clincher here. Photo with Cheryl Lee by the log. That's what you're basically paying for, folks. And a photo with Ray Wise inside the Kiana Lodge. You get them right next to the fireplace right there where Ben Horn spits in it. You get an exclusive photo card pre-signed by Cheryl Lee and Ray Wise. And there it is. But if you want to go to, let's say, October 19th, the Neptune Theater in Seattle. All right. Okay, so you're looking about, let's see if we can, you're looking about $76 a ticket for that if you're like in back rows, $212 for balconies, $426 for platinum VIP. And then if you want to be like in the front row, you're looking at about $800 for the front row. These are not cheap events, folks, but I'm just letting you know that if you have the disposable cash and you want to do this, I mean, these are pretty cool, but wow, this isn't like just it's not those, the days of $20 autographs are gone, my friends. This is pretty hardcore here. I think what is kind of happening here is, yes, you're paying for a premium event, but I think what they're doing too is trying to make sure that the same people, and I'm not suggesting who these people would be, but I just think that this is a way of making sure that the same people are not taking over every single event, because nobody in current America could afford to go to every single one of these, especially if they're on a budget. So you would probably pick the one that you can get into, or the one that you can afford. If you are interested and you didn't know about this, well, now you do. So, so there it is. Pretty wild stuff. I would love to go to one of these. Not sure the finances can handle it at the moment, but hey, if you get to go, let us know how it is. I am kind of bummed though that there is no all-you-can-eat spaghetti at any of these events. For $800, I would think they would throw in, all the pasta you can handle. JPRPH1 says, thanks for the info. I had no idea this was going on. Hey, I didn't either. And I run a David Lynch Twin Peaks channel. So I shared it out on X with a little bit of description. Thanks for letting us know. Well, hey, one, thanks for your comment. And two, I'm just like you guys. I mean, I know people who know things who tell me nothing. And then when things happen, I go, can you believe this? This is happening. And they go, we know. We've known. Like, what? So I'm in the dark as much as anybody else, but I mean, that's okay, and I think that's cool, because that allows me to have that kind of sense of awe and wonder and not be so jaded, like, I've known this was coming. I like being able to open up my internet in the morning and be like, holy cow, look at that. Top Devo says, do you think we will ever see the scripts to Unrecorded Night and they will produce it without David Lynch? I do not think. I mean, again, who am I to know? But I don't think they're going to just let other people make Unrecorded Night. I myself, I think John Thorne, I think Josh Eisenstadt, I think we all kind of the belief that we would like to see them kind of published at some point in a really nice book. That would be fantastic to see that. Otherwise, they're gonna probably end up in some, UCLA David Lynch archive at some point. you know, and then we'll have to live through John Thorne as he reads through the scripts and then writes a whole book about what could have been. But as of right now, obviously I don't know, but hopefully one day we will get a little more clarity as to that. I also would love to see the Snoot World movie or script, I should say. I would hope that gets published as a book with like all the artwork. I think that would be pretty amazing to publish something like that. So anyway, any other comments or questions, throw them out now, because otherwise I will be wrapping up. But anyway, I just had to come on here and let you know about some of the stuff I didn't know about this tour. I didn't know about this Welcome to Lynchland thing. I haven't seen the Log Lady documentary yet. It hasn't played in my area and it's not available yet on streaming, but I will see it soon. And I hope to have the creators of that documentary on as guests at some point in the future. I'm a big fan of theirs, and it'd be a lot of fun to talk with them. Anyway, hopefully you are all doing well, and thank you so much for your time. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Also, subscribe to our other channel, Mass Media Consumption on YouTube, which is for all our non David Lynch Twin Peaks stuff. So if you like other things having to do with books, movies, etc., so over there. And for those of you who have not seen Queen of Hearts yet, check it out. Keep up to date with us as we embark on the Black Rose adventure. So, all right, guys, it's been wonderful. Have a great day. Take it easy. We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.